to rock! Dust off those controllers, blow out the keyboards, let's play! Zing, 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 bada bing, baby. It's game time, saddle up, sit back, and let's play!
Yeah, spring's finally here, which is a good thing. Got my good armor on. Won't run out of stamina for a while. Building has officially begun, which is a good thing. Ran into a small issue here in the corner, but that's fine. You know, builds sometimes end up like that, so. Besides, there's probably going to be a building built here, and you're never going to see the corner unless I walk behind the building. But it worked out to there. I had to lower it, so it was a change. I had to lower it for a reason because I got to put a wooden beam up there later. Ran into an issue at the corner. Came around the corner. This doesn't line up, so I'm going to have to redesign the corner, but I'm not doing that now because I need to get the door in over here. Then build from the door outward this way here. When I get to the corner, it comes to the edge, and then I can rework the corner. But I also need stairs to the second tier. Now, I also made changes to the dirt. I got rid of the dirt and put some flooring in. But in order to work from that door out to here, I need to get this area built in for the guard section of the gate before I start that. This way here, when I build down from the door to the gate, I can see what adjustments I need made before building the wall all the way down, and then have to tear it all out, put the gate in, and then redesign. I don't want to do all that. I put some flooring in here too at the gate. So I made a few changes off screen. And since I was putting that color flooring in, which it looks somewhat decent with the color that I found, I changed it over here. And then, wherever there was a walkway already built, I changed the material it was made of. Because this is going to be, I guess, the official stone I'm using for the flooring. Which eventually I will probably have to change it all on the inside, but I ain't doing that now. That would be a work when I get to the area and start working on the inside area, but I ain't doing that crap now. I changed it here only because you can see it from the port area. Did not paint that. And then I actually changed the stone on the port area so it's an actual floor, not like a wall stone. I had to redesign the blocks at the bottom. I had to shrink them up and get that curve back in. The only issue I'm seeing down here is a small issue, and I don't know if it can be seen. Oh yeah, it can be seen. Right here, this little triangle piece all the way up. Now, if I pop that out, chances are it's going to leave a big triangle here. Yeah, see? I can put the little triangle in there, and it would square it off here. But I ain't going to work on that now. I'll work on that when I actually get to the port area again. If I remember it. Go in there, huh? All fixed. So yeah, that's the little improvements I did off camera. I did run into an issue with the pillar arch that I made for the wall, and I'll explain that in a second. I had to place one down so I could fix up the structure in the sides of it, so it was somewhat square. Now that's sitting perfectly on 4x4 blocks. However, it's not perfect on 4x4 when it's over here. In order to get the section that you needed, because half of it was out. I'll show you for a minute. This little piece here on the edge was on a half block, and in order to do that, you'd get half of this. So there was no way to only get, excuse me, a 3-piece section to get a left side and a right side. I had to do the whole side, and when trying to use a blueprint, it didn't come out right. And this is what I ended up with, which I did not fix. I made it work. And then when I place it, it will actually straighten out. The only thing I've been doing is a cheesy cheat. Placing it like that. Simply overlapping one section with the other, which I don't need that there. Then the only fix that I have to do is knock out the center here and re-put the blocks in. But I am undebated whether or not to do the work in speed build or live. I might go into a speed build because I'm going to end up tearing it down, restructuring it, tearing it down, and I'm going to probably swear in the middle of it. Especially when it doesn't go right. Because trying to get an arch is not easy, because you have to get the corner. See where that green light is? Right where my cross cursor is? You have to get it, onto that point. Then angle your block. And then you line it up with the next one. Repeat it. Angle your block. You just keep doing that. But if I keep doing it like that from here, this thing's going to arch way out. I don't think I want that way out. See, it hasn't even turned back inward yet. So in order to fix that super extended arch that's going out, I have several options. Go in here, advanced settings. Then I can change the angle at which the rotations go. Now if I do 45, that's kind of pushing it. Because that'll rotate way too far. Yeah, see? But there's also other ways that you can do the arch too. You shrink your block. See if I can do this properly. Since it's shrunk, see, it'll normally follow this if you do 2. But being that it's shrunk, if I change it up and do this, well, it's still on the 45 degree. I'll put it back on the 15 where I had it. Being that it's smaller, or is it larger I have to go? No, see, being that it's smaller, it's getting that bend and archer, not archer, but arch and bend at the angle a lot earlier than it would. So I can make it a smaller arch. Because the theory behind it is these blocks are 2 wide. So 1, 2, then it would bend in. But instead of doing it 2, you're bending it in midway with a smaller block. So it's half the size of the arch. If that explains it properly. I'm no good at explaining. But you get the idea. Instead of it bending too wide, it's bending in the middle instead of full length. So you can control how wide and how big it goes by messing with the angle that it bends at and the size of the block. And if doing just a little corner is too small of an arch, and you wanted it a little bit bigger, there's a fix for that too. You just put your block down and resize it slightly. Add a little bit to it each time until you get the arched angle that you're looking for. I don't know. Oh, that's why it's blinking, because it's... No. You can stay under the ground. I am not digging you out. But yeah, depending on the length of the block where you decide to angle it in, it depends on the size of the arch that you make. Less room in the block, smaller the arch. More room in the block, larger the arch. So I have to figure out roughly, because I don't want to supersize it, thing, from right about here, maybe to there. Wouldn't mind an arch that came out maybe here or here. But doing it with these blocks, there's no way I'm going to do it with this size, so I have to figure out the exact size of the block that would give me that angle. Maybe it's this long. Small blocks might do that. But in any case, it's pretty much how you do it. You just angle your blocks when you place them. So if I'm going to start out with a small one, place him there. Make sure I get the corner. But what angle is it on? I'll put it on a 10. I don't want to be kneeling down. See if this angle gives me. Actually, I might do that off camera and then bring you guys back afterwards. Because this is going to be a pain in the rear end. To actually pull off the angle. Because I'll get all the way through this and then I'll end up having to tear it down because right now it doesn't look like it's going to make it or it's going to cut too short. But you definitely have to make sure it's at the corner. I mean, technically, I guess you can angle it in the center too. But a lot harder to get that center. No, almost. Being that it's an arch, it's always going to be off. So when I build blocks back here, I'll have to put a little gap piece between them. But that, or maybe add that wider on the block, not too much. Maybe increase size just that little bit would give me the exact arch that I need. I don't know, I'll work on it and I'll bring you guys back and show you the finished result. But at least you guys seen how it's done initially. I'll see what I come up with. Or I might extend the wall out a little bit and then do it, since it's not arching as far out as I thought it would. Alright, I'll be back soon. So pretty much that's how it came out. I mean, I have to build it up. Truthfully, I'm probably going up maybe only one tier with it, because I'll have something planned out for out there. But I have to expand the arches here out at least to here, I think, before it arches around. But that's basically pretty much how I wanted it. It's not exact, but that's fine. I have to. I had to do this custom because the other door would not fit because the blocks are custom sized. But now I have to build the trim around it. That's pretty much how it's going to be, and I'm going to have to do the same exact thing for this one and the two over there. However, I might be able to copy this one and plant it over there, and then copy that one and plant it over there. Less work I got to do. Or copy both sections and put them over there at once. But yeah, so that's where we are right now. And I'll finish this up. It's pretty much the same damn thing going around and around and around until I get it the height I want. I left this open because I'm actually going to put barred windows in. But yeah, that's the little guard station at the front gate. So, you guys have a good one. I'll talk to you later. I got to get back to working and getting this done.